Hello everyone and welcome back to Cute Crochet. My name is Sri and in today's video I am going to show you how to make this adorable baby whale amigurumis. These are one of the easiest amigurumis that you can make. It's a no-sew pattern, perfect for beginners. To make these you will need one color for the main body of the whale, some white for the underbelly, some pink for the blush of the cheek. I have used 4mm safety eyes here. If you want to turn these into keychains, you will need some blank key rings. You will also need some pillow fluff to stuff your amigurumi. For your tools, you will need a crochet hook, a yarn needle, and something to use as a stitch marker. So let's get started. For the main body, I am using this light blue yarn. This is a 4-ply yarn and with it I am going to use a 3mm crochet hook, which is a couple of sizes smaller than what is recommended for this yarn. It's actually recommended to use a 4mm hook with this. We do this so that our stitches are nice and tight and none of the stuffing shows through. We are going to start by making a magic circle. To do that, wrap your yarn up and over your finger like so, forming a cross in the front. Then insert your hook underneath the cross. Take the yarn from the other side and pull through. Then again yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. Now remove this loop from your finger and this is the magic circle that we are going to work into. Start by making a chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Then we are going to make 6 single crochets into the magic circle. To make a single crochet, insert your hook into the magic circle and pull up a loop. You will have 2 loops on your hook like this. Yarn over and pull through the 2 loops and that finishes 1 single crochet. Let's do it again. Insert your hook into the magic circle and pull up a loop. 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. Now we are going to make 4 more single crochets like this for a total of 6 single crochets. After you finished making 6 single crochets, you can pull on this tail to cinch the magic circle completely closed, and this brings us to the end of round 1. At the end of round 1, we have 6 single crochets. This amigurumi is going to be worked in continuous rounds, so we need to mark the last stitch of the round. For that I am using a paper clip here, but you can use anything. You can use a yarn in a different color or you can also get proper stitch markers. Round 2 is an increase round. For this round, we are going to increase in each stitch all the way around. An increase is simply placing 2 single crochets into one stitch. So, go into that first single crochet and make 1 single crochet. Then make 1 more single crochet into that same stitch and that is our increase stitch. Again, into the next stitch, place 2 single crochets. Now into the remaining 4 stitches of the round, make increases, that is 2 single crochets into the same stitch. When you reach the last stitch of the round, remove the stitch marker and place 2 single crochets into that stitch as well. This brings us to the end of round 2. At the end of round 2, you will have 12 single crochets. Go ahead and mark the new last stitch of the round. For round 3, we are going to increase into every alternate stitch. So, into that first stitch, make a single crochet. Then into the next stitch, 2 single crochets. Then into the next stitch, 1 single crochet, then increase. Continue repeating like this. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase all the way around. Once you reach the last stitch, remove the stitch marker and place 2 single crochets into it. For this and every other increase round, you should be increasing into the last stitch, and if you are not, you must have done something wrong in your counting and you will have to recheck your work. Go ahead and mark the new last stitch of the round. At the end of round 3, you will have 18 single crochets. For round 4, we are going to increase in every third stitch. Start by making 1 single crochet into the first 2 stitches. Then into the third stitch, increase. Again 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. In the next stitch, increase. Continue repeating like this. 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches and then increase 4 more times. At the end of round 4, you will have 24 single crochets. Go ahead and mark the new last stitch of the round. For round 5, I am going to make 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around, keeping the stitch count constant at 24. I am going to repeat this for rounds 5 through 7. So for 3 rounds, I am going to finish this and meet back up with you. Here I finished making up to round 7. On round 8, we are going to make the tail and the fins. Starting with the tail, start by chaining 4. Then we are going to skip the first chain and single crochet into the second chain from the hook. The loop on the hook does not count. Skip the first one into the second one. Then make 1 single crochet into the next chain. Then chain 3. Single crochets into the second and third chain from the hook. Then single crochet into that last remaining chain of the first chain 4. This is going to be our tail piece. Then make one single crochet into the next 6 stitches. We are not going to skip any stitch. Then we are going to make our first pin. Start by making a chain 3. Then skip the first chain and single crochet into the remaining 2 chains. That's it for the fin. Now make one single crochet into the next 12 stitches. After making the 12 single crochet, make another fin in the exact same way as before. Then make one single crochet into the remaining 6 stitches of this round. On the last stitch of this round, we are going to change colors. So start the stitch like you normally would for a single crochet. When you have 2 loops on your hook, do not complete that stitch. Instead, bring in your next color, which is white in my case. Drape it over your crochet hook like so and pull it through to complete the stitch. Now drop the blue yarn and pick up the white yarn. We are going to start working with the white yarn now. For round 9, we are going to single crochet into each stitch all the way around. The first stitch is right on the other side of the tail right here. While working the stitches, work over both of the tails as you go. After making the 6 single crochets, you'll encounter the first fin. Simply skip over it and go on to the next stitch on the other side. We are going to continue like this all the way around. You can stop working over the tails once you feel that they have been sufficiently woven in. Here I am at the end of round 9. Go ahead and mark the last stitch of the round. I didn't mark the last stitch in the previous round because it was pretty obvious what the last stitch is. At this point I am going to cut off this blue yarn tail that has been woven in. At this stage I am going to put in the safety eyes before moving on to the next stage. Here I am using 4mm safety eyes and I am going to place them with respect to the fins. From the fin, count 1 round up and then 2 stitches to the right. Place it right there. Same thing on the other side. One round up from the fin and then 2 stitches to the left this time. This is the placement of the eyes, whether you put safety eyes or embroider them on or use beads. I'm going to put in the safety backings and meet back up with you. From round 10 we are going to start decreasing. Make one single crochet into the first 2 stitches. Then into the next 2 stitches we are going to make an invisible decrease. Let me tell you the difference between a regular decrease and an invisible decrease first. For a regular decrease we go into the next stitch and pull up a loop like we normally would for a single crochet, but do not complete that stitch. Again go into the next stitch and pull up a loop. With 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops at the same time, and that finishes a decrease stitch. You'll notice that that stitch looks a bit different than the rest of the stitches and it sticks out. For the invisible decrease, we are going to work into the front loops only. If you look at the stitches carefully, each stitch has a front loop and a back loop. Go under the front loop of the first stitch and then twist your hook around and go under the front loop of the second stitch. Then yarn over and pull up a loop like you normally would for a single crochet. Then yarn over and pull through 2, and that finishes our invisible decrease. You'll notice that that stitch looks the exact same as the rest of the stitches and it blends in much better. Then into the next 2 stitches again make one single crochet. Then into the next 2 stitches invisible decrease. Continue repeating like this, one single crochet into the next 2 stitches and then invisible decrease all the way around. Similar to the increased rounds, into the last 2 stitches of the decreased round, you should always be decreasing, and if you're not doing that, you have done something wrong in your counting. At the end of round 10, you will have 18 single crochets. For round 11, make one single crochet into the first stitch. Then into the next 2 stitches, invisible decrease. Again, one single crochet into the next stitch and then invisible decrease. Continue repeating this sequence of one single crochet and invisible decrease all the way around. At the end of round 11, you will have 12 single crochets. Here I am at the end of round 11. At this point, we are going to stuff the amigurumi. After you have stuffed your piece generously, move on to round 12. For round 12, we are going to decrease into each stitch all the way around. I like to place a finger on top of the stuffing to keep it out of the way while doing this round. At the end of round 12, you will have 6 single crochet stitches. Cut the excess yarn, leaving a long enough tail for sewing, and then fasten off. Then, to close up the hole, I am going to weave this tail in and out through the front loops of all of the stitches of this round. Then, when you pull on this tail, it should close up the hole nicely. Leave that tail hanging there for now. Lastly, I am going to add some blush on the cheeks using pink yarn. Come in from the back of the amigurumi and out on top of a fin. Don't pull it all the way through. Leave a little bit hanging at the back. We are going to go around the next stitch twice to form the blush. After that, move over to the other side on top of the fin and embroider the blush in the same way. Then come out to the same hole that you came in from. Leave both the yarn tails hanging there for now and fiddle around with the shape of the embroidery until you're happy with it. Next, I am going to take this last white yarn tail on my needle. Come in through the center and then out through the same hole as the pink yarn tails. Tie a knot using all 3 yarn tails. Then cut the excess yarn and hide the knot into the body using the back of your yarn needle. Finally, to add a keychain, take a little bit of the same color yarn as the body on your yarn needle. Come in from the back and out through the top of the head. Then sew through the last jump ring of your keychain. Then go back down the same hole and out through the same hole that you came in through. Tie a knot tightly using these 2 yarn tails. Then cut the excess yarn and hide the knot into the body using the back of your yarn needle. And that's it. I hope you guys liked this video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.